Welcome to another podcast, and today we are going to discuss about green mobility. But before we start, I would like to define more meaning about what is green mobility. Green mobility refers to sustainable and environmentally friendly transportation solutions that reduce the negative impact of transportation on the environment. It involves the use of low or zero emission vehicles, renewable energy sources for empowering vehicles, efficient transportation systems, and innovative technologies to minimize carbon emissions, air pollution, and other environmental impacts associated with transportation. Green mobility includes various options such as electric vehicles, EVs, public transit, active transportation, e.g. walking and biking, carpooling, and other innovative mobility solutions that prioritize environmental sustainability, social equity, and economic viability. It aims to address the challenges of climate change, air pollution, and resource depletion, while promoting a healthier, greener, and more sustainable mode of transportation for communities and societies. So in a nutshell, we say that green mobility is a whole process whereby we are abandoning the old fuel energy and oil and gas, and we are going for something which is more economically and environmentally sustainable. So with this revolution, we are asking ourselves, how can African entrepreneurs take advantage of these new advancements in industrialization and make a decent living for themselves? So African entrepreneurs can take advantage of the new green mobility revolution in several ways, and we are going to break down these strategies. The first one will be electric transportation solutions. Second one will measure on renewable energy infrastructure. Third will measure on green logistics and supply chain. Fourth, we will measure on sustainable tourism and eco-tourism. Fifth, we'll talk about green mobility services. Sixth, we'll explore about innovation and technology. We will also break down on collaboration and partnership. And lastly, we are going to define more about policy advocacy. So if we go to the first discussion, it's about electric transportation solutions. African entrepreneurs can explore opportunities in developing and providing electric transportation solutions such as electric vehicles, EVs, electric bikes, electric rickshaws, and electric buses. This should involve manufacturing, assembling, and importing EVs, as well as building charging infrastructure for EVs in major cities. On this point, I look at in the business perspective, I can see gaps in the manufacturing of these materials, different spare parts that wholesomely are brought together to make up this electric machinery. So manufacturing is one area to specialize in. Another area is to assemble these parts, that is assembly. Another area an entrepreneur can venture into is importing these EVs or the spare parts that we need, such as batteries, as well as building the charging systems or charging points in different counties in Kenya or at Africa at large. The second point is about renewable energy infrastructure. African entrepreneurs can invest in renewable energy infrastructure such as solar-powered charging stations for EVs, that is electric vehicles and e-motorcycles, solar-powered street lighting, and solar-powered electric water pumps. These solutions can help to provide clean and sustainable energy for transportation and other needs, particularly in rural areas where access to electricity is limited. Almost every African home needs water for its domestic use. Usually we depend on boreholes, and these boreholes we can utilize the opportunity of using solar-powered water pumps rather than going for the national grid, which is electricity. We can also utilize these solar-powered electric water pumps so as to irrigate our farms using the drip irrigation system, and this will maximize on production and also the quality of our food crops. The third point is about green logistics and supply chain. Entrepreneurs can explore opportunities in developing green logistics and supply chain solutions. These will involve providing a last-mile delivery services using electric vehicles, developing efficient and eco-friendly transportation routes, or creating sustainable packaging solutions for goods transportation. Now, we can see a revolution in delivering items or parcels that are being sent from the village to the city. You'll find that it is difficult for someone in the city to access a bus station due to the heavy traffic or connections. Therefore, an entrepreneur can come in to fill the gap by delivering these items from the sending point or receiving point to the senders, to the receiver's home. This can be done using electric vehicles or e-motorcycles so as to cut down the cost, and by doing so we are going in a way that promotes our environment to be sustainable and healthier. The fourth point is about sustainable tourism and ecotourism. African entrepreneurs can leverage the growing demand for sustainable tourism and ecotourism by developing eco-friendly transportation options for tourists, such as electric safari vehicles. Rian has done so in Kenya, electric boats for coastal tours. I've seen these in Mombasa, and electric bikes for city tours. This has also happened in Machakos, Makueni, and also Nairobi, courtesy of Rom Air. This can help to promote sustainable tourism practices and protect Africa's rich natural heritage. The fifth is about green mobility services. African entrepreneurs can provide green mobility services such as electric vehicle charging services, EV fleet management services, and EV maintenance and repair services. These can create business opportunities and support the adoption of green mobility solutions in the region. We understand that every electronic or mechanical equipment comes up with problems later in their long lifespan, and this requires that there must be service centers and people with the right knowledge and skill to repair these mechanical challenges. So it means that entrepreneurs can set up mechanical servicing points all over the country so as to anticipate repairing these EVs and e-motorcycles whenever they break down. This is an economic activity and it will generate sustainable jobs for all Africans. The sixth is about innovation and technology. African entrepreneurs can focus on developing innovative technologies related to green mobility, such as battery technology, smart charging solutions, energy management systems, and mobility as a service (MaaS) platforms. These innovations can help to drive the adoption of green mobility solutions in Africa and create export opportunities. Collaboration and partnership is another way that African entrepreneurs can tap and create something for themselves. They can collaborate with local and international partners such as government organizations, research institutions, and multinational corporations to leverage their expertise, resources, and networks. This can help to access funding, technology, knowledge, and market opportunities for green mobility initiatives. I'm looking at this in a different perspective. You might find the government has a public land. You will find the community has access to that public land, and you'll find the county government manages that public land. If all these three stakeholders come together and work as a team, and they invite a manufacturing company to come and base its factories in Africa, then you will realize that more jobs will remain in Africa for these communities, and by doing so it will empower this community into a sustainable future that not only promotes green mobility but also creates decent jobs for children, grandchildren, and all descendants of this generation. Lastly, we are going to discuss about policy advocacy. African entrepreneurs can engage in policy advocacy to promote supportive regulations and incentives for green mobility, such as tax incentives for EVs, grants for renewable energy projects, and favorable import and export policies for green mobility technologies. This can create a conducive environment for green mobility entrepreneurship in Africa. Policy and regulations are the rules that make the playing field